The Cleveland Cavaliers played another game, and that means they won yet another game. They just played the Chicago Bulls, a team that always seems to go try hard and makes a lot of shots against them, but really they are just a team that has a lot of younger guys with high energy. And the Cavs were tied with them at 107 before going on a massive run, a cavalanche, late in the fourth quarter. This team is just something to watch, man. They are now on an 11-game winning streak, which is not even good enough to be in the top 2 for winning streaks they have had this year yet. And the Cavaliers currently have 3 of the top 4 winning streaks from the course of the entire season. I thought that stat was pretty insane. But anyways, getting back to that win over the Bulls, we finally got to see Javantae Green come in and get some minutes on his home floor, and he impacted the game significantly. I loved what I saw, and obviously he is going to have to get out there a few more times to get in a rhythm, but I would not mind seeing him play 5 minutes a game or something like that when Mobley rests. Jarrett Allen had a monster performance. There is a lot to talk about from this game. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so the Cavs took down the Bulls 139 to 117 in the Windy City, but like I said, this game was not a blowout. The Cavs are just so good and have so much firepower that they can go on cavalanches like we saw every now and then. A 32-8 run in the 6-minute span is insane, and Javantae Green was hitting threes, he was getting and ones, Garland finally got going. Really everything was clicking on both ends. I know Jarrett Allen gets a lot of criticism from me and the Cleveland media, but he had one of his best games of the season. I almost think Evan Mobley needed to sit out this game just so that Allen could reprove to himself how good he can be when he goes all out in terms of effort. He is a good center. He can attack, he can play with a purpose. He just has to do it. And he needs to stop having those games where he is not aggressive and is a snowflake. I almost feel like it's just a mindset thing. Darius Garland really struggled in the first half from the field. He has been in a bit of a slump. I know he got hurt, but we are really going to need DG to step up. He was a lot better in the fourth quarter, but the Cavs have a real chance to win a championship, and Garland is going to have to be really good offensively. Yes, he has improved on defense, but the Cavs do still have an undersized backcourt, and the Celtics love to pick on Garland all game long. So to make up for that in the playoffs, DG has to be super efficient. Max Strus and Jarrett Allen were actually tearing it up as a duo yesterday. Usually you would not put those two together when you were talking about a dynamic duo or anything like that, but time and time again, it's often Strus getting the ball inside to Allen. And Strus, even though sometimes he's very hot and cold shooting the ball, he's always moving, he drives a lot, he's an underrated defender, and he is one of the main guys that loves to dump the ball off inside. A lot of times Garland and Mitchell start falling in love with jump shots from outside, and oftentimes it is Strus that gets the ball back inside and recreates the balance that this team needs. And then Ty Jerome once again showed us why he is the 6th man of the year. Yeah, I know DeAndre Hunter is too, but honestly, they should just share the award. But one thing about Hunter is that he usually plays around starter level minutes. Ty Jerome is a real 6th man. He has done what he has done, playing under 20 minutes a game this season, which is just so incredible. In this game, Jerome found a way to be an X factor even when not shooting the ball well. He played 22 minutes, had 16 points with 3 rebounds and 2 assists, but this was his first game in what feels like 3 months that he was in the negatives with plus minus. But that's okay, because it was good to finally see the starting lineup do the heavy lifting. 3 starters were plus 20, and then Donovan Mitchell had 28 points. Obviously he could have had a lot more because he only played 27 minutes, but that is the great thing about Kenny Atkinson and the depth this team has. Really over the last month, on most nights, the starters have not had to play over 30 minutes, and sometimes the bench has been so good that they have been the ones deserving of more minutes. But I think the Cavs are playing the second half of the season perfectly. They're going to be heading into the playoffs very well rested, and they should be healthy unless something catastrophic happens. But the main reason why I am so confident in this team going into the playoffs is because of those cavalanches. Even when a game is tight, you know at any moment they can explode and go on a 2-minute 10-0 run. We have seen it all year long. Anyways, one thing that definitely can be said, and one thing that we learned from last night, is that Evan Mobley is the defensive player of the year now that Wemby is no longer eligible to get the award. Because the Cavs on defense just look completely different when he does not play. It's actually crazy. Even when Jarrett Allen steps up and plays aggressive, it is nowhere near the same defense. I almost think it's because Mobley is a safety net for the guards. When all Darius Garland has to do is worry about defending what's in front of him and getting blown by doesn't matter, that's when he can be effective, and that's when he can get steals and jump passing lanes. It would be nice to see the Cavs get going from the jump a lot earlier in some of these games, that is one pet peeve of mine. Yeah, the Cavs have not lost in a month, but over half of those games, they have started off with a big deficit. And in the playoffs, if you're gonna beat Boston, you have to have better starts. You don't want to constantly be in a big hole, because even if you do win, it is still very mentally draining. It takes a lot of energy to put together those comebacks, and the Celtics are gonna eventually figure out how to stop blowing those leads, especially if they are healthy. But anyways, now to look at some of the stats from this W over the Bulls. Donovan Mitchell, of course, had 28 points with 7 rebounds and 5 assists. DeAndre Hunter had 6 points and 5 rebounds. He didn't really get too many touches in this game, but I thought he was really solid on the defensive end. Max Strus had 11 points with 3 rebounds and 5 assists. And then Darius Garland, who led the team in minutes along with Jarrett Allen, had 19 points with 3 rebounds and 7 assists. Obviously, you don't want Garland taking 22 shots to get 19 points. That's not going to get the job done in a big game. But Jarrett Allen made up for it, as he had 25 points with 17 big rebounds, and he only missed 1 shot the entire game. He almost seemed to have his joy back. You could see the big smile in the post-game interview, and speaking of that, here's what he and some of the other guys had to say in their interviews following this win.
Just us locking in and just us putting everything together. I feel like the first three and a half quarters, we weren't playing our type of basketball, and everything just clicked at the end.
This is the third straight game that you've gotten off to a slow start, and you've still been able to find a way to win.
Yep.
Like, how are you guys able to flip it?
We just start playing our kind of basketball. You know, we have these slow starts that we really need to get rid of. You know, when we start playing teams that are going to be in the playoffs, they're going to attack us early, and we can't always go down first just to fight back. That just makes it so much harder. But, I mean, we're a good team at the end of the day. We know how to change deficits and come back and win.
Yeah, I guess we forgot about that, right? We, in a good way, we've been getting so lost in just the daily habits and improving, and kind of look up and, you know, you put together another 11-game win streak. But honestly, we came in after the game and talked about how we got to get off to better starts and playing around with the game and to come back to bite us if we don't, you know, fix that. But yeah, we obviously got a special group, and that's a good accomplishment for us.
What does it, I guess, say about this group that that's the first thing that you guys are talking about, despite the 20-plus point win coming in here?
I think just where our goals are, who we want to be, and knowing how hard it is to get to where we want to go. So, you know, it's not going to be easy, and we can't really keep messing around with the game like that.
This definitely was a good W, even with all the negative things that came along with it. The Cavs moved 1 game closer to clinching the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and now they get to play a struggling Miami Heat team that should be without a few key pieces. So even as the Cavs fight through the dog days of this winning streak, which is crazy to say, we are getting there, guys. April is going to be here before we know it, and March is a fun time of the year anyways. We just got our first 60-degree day in Cleveland. March Madness is about to be here. Spring training is underway for the Guardians. I'm actually going to be there next week, and the light is at the end of the tunnel. We are almost there. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. Also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.